Okay. Good morning, folks. James drinks plastic out of the microwave.
I do. If you don't like that, you can go fuck yourself.
Okay, potentially, right?
Yeah.
However, if you, I'm just PSA here. If you're taking a plastic container and putting it in the microwave and warming up your food in a plastic container / coffee, you should not do that.
I just don't know how like you're just saying there's a sudden burst of these bad things just going right into it immediately.
Well, hell yeah, dude. I'm just saying over time, again, you drinking out of your...
Let me tell you, look, you want to hear something really bad? When I was younger, all right, like I got in this phase where I loved baked potatoes. Like I was just addicted to baked potatoes. I wanted them all the time.
Yeah.
So instead of like baking a potato or whatever, I would literally put it in a Ziploc bag, put a little water in there. I'd poke holes all in it, put it in a Ziploc bag, put it in the Ziploc bag, the holes poked in it, a little water, open the corner so it could steam out, and I'd put it in the microwave for like 3 minutes and cook that son of a bitch.
Okay. Also, the more time, okay, one, that's problematic. Two,
yeah, I used to do it all the time.
Problematic for sure.
Yeah.
Secondarily to that whole problem that you just created,
yeah,
is the fact that longer that you cook food in the microwave, it decreases the amount of nutrition that actually goes into your body.
Well, you had to soften it up.
I'm just saying, James. I'm saying in the microwave. I'm saying in the microwave.
That I did wise up too. I was like, literally, I would pull this potato out of the bag and the bag would like stretch.
Oh, no.
Yeah, dude, I used to do it all the time. I was like, that's probably a bad idea. I probably shouldn't be doing that. Because I was thinking, okay, like that's almost like melting the plastic onto my potato I'm about to eat.
Yeah. No,
I quit doing that one.
And that was when? When did you do this?
Oh, man, I was probably like, I don't know, probably like 16 to like age 20. But I mean, I go through phases, but I didn't do it like for 4 years straight, like, 3 times a week or something, Yeah, it was like around that phase.
Okay. I mean, at the end of the day, man, we all do things that we should not do.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes knowledge is power. Sometimes knowledge is a pain in the ass.
So if you went to go get you a nice cold soda pop,
don't drink soda.
Let's just say you were in a situation and it was like you were thirsty.
Yeah.
And there was a Coke there and you're going to drink that soda pop.
Mm-hmm.
But it was only in a plastic bottle.
Yeah. Coke in a plastic bottle?
Yeah. 20-ounce Cokes in plastic bottles, man.
Gotcha. Okay.
Or you were at a party and you were thirsty and there was, 2 liters of Cokes and Sprites and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like you wouldn't do that. If there was a can of Coke, you would pick that over the bottled Coke.
If I'm drinking Coke, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably just ask for a glass of water, please.
Straight from the tap, or has it got to be filtered?
Don't matter.
Don't matter. Just some pure water.
Yeah, pure water. Ideally, if you do have filtered water, I will take that over the tap.
So what if you had somebody had one of those nice bottles of Smart Water or Fiji water sitting there, but it was in a plastic bottle? You would say hard pass.
Yeah, hard pass. Hard pass. I mean, there are things that you have to give up. Like if you're at an airport,
yeah,
they're not going to have the glass faucets, right?
Yeah, now Atlanta Airport has a refill station, so.
Okay, good. I mean, that's a lot better, but then also you can't, like, I don't know if I can actually carry, like, long story short, yeah, okay. If it's in a plastic bottle, there's going to be certain circumstances you're going to have to just, you're going to have to just nut up.
Yeah, but if you can make that only 10 times a year instead of 365 days a year, you feel like that's a win.
That's what I'm doing, pal.
Okay, all right. I got you.
Yeah, it's minimizing the risk of external factors into your body, right? Because come to find out, a lot of plastic, you got to think about how much plastic you actually consume every time you drink a plastic water bottle. Dude, half of that thing is plastic, by the way.
half of the liquid inside of
There's
the container.
molecules of plastic. Because one, you don't know when that was actually put into the water bottle. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
And then it was probably shipped on some sort of hot vehicle at some point.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Which then, releases a lot of stuff, which then fast forward, you're just drinking plastic, dude.
Yeah, I'll grab the case out in front of the gas station that's just been baking in the sun for, probably half a month. Grab that sucker, pop the top, drink it on down.
Okay.
Quench my thirst.
I'm just letting you know, James, that's not the best route to take when it comes down to it. Okay.
All right. I'll heed some warnings here. I think this bottle's basically had its best life. We got a lot of memories together, though.
And that's cool, dude. Just get a damn metal thermos.
Yeah, you probably. Well, I don't know. I still have a hole in my wall in my office. I had this in my hands. And I got so pissed off at a situation one day. I walked in my office and I threw this as hard as I could up against the wall.
I know we talked about this.
Yeah, it's tragic.
Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, man, I'm just letting you know. Moving forward, I would just adhere to the rule. If it's in plastic, I'm gonna try and skip it. If I cannot skip it, I'll drink it. Okay. But definitely don't be warming your stuff up in the microwave in plastic.
I work on that.
Yeah.
So do you not use plastic containers? So likely you got some leftovers at home.
I got glass containers.
Glass containers. God, you are a highfalutin son of a bitch. Are they etched glass? They got your initials on them?
No initials. Okay. No initials. But they are glass.
Man, I think I might be able to still pull some. I go to my parents' house. They still got like the 70s style, freaking bright orange and bright green Tupperwares. Those son of bitches is older than me.
Fine. Look, but let's also take a note here.
They got the good chemicals in them.
Yeah.
Real good ones.
No. Yeah.
Adds a little aftertaste.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just
the chemicals can't even get through because those things have been cooked in the microwave so many times. There's like a complete layer of food probably still stuck to it, all the spaghetti dinners and stuff. Mm-hmm. It just totally seals that shit off. Yeah, it can't even penetrate. It's probably pretty healthy, probably pretty good now. Think about that.
I've thought about it.
Addison wants to go do a cleanse after this conversation.
Look, man, I'm just saying there's things that we could do to be generationally a healthier group of folks.
Yeah.
That's where I would start, just doing your own personal assessments of things. Plastic is not good.
I've been thinking about this vape, man. I use a vape because I quit smoking. I'm very thankful this got me to stop smoking like quickly. Like within 2 weeks, I smoked for 15 years, 2 weeks having a vape. I was done smoking cigarettes. I was just recently in Vegas and it died and I bummed a smoke. I smoked a cigarette. That was the grossest thing. Like I wanted somebody to squeegee my lungs. I couldn't even finish it. I got about halfway through. I was like, oh my God, how did I ever smoke these things all the time? Like it was horrible, like horrible. So I know it's not as bad because I could get and it wasn't just the taste. I mean, just how it made my chest feel, everything. But to that, I was thinking about this the other day. This thing's so stupid, but I think I'm more addicted to this fucking thing than I was cigarettes.
Yeah, more than likely, dude. The amount
because I can use it all day, just pounding away at this thing.
Convenient.
It is, man.
Convenient.
It's stupid. It's like I'm 38 years old and I'm sitting here sucking on a vape.
Yeah, I mean, but everybody's got their vice, bro. Everybody's got their vice.
What if I got 3 or 4?
and that's okay too. That's okay too. It's only a problem if you can't afford it, from what I've heard.
That's true. I guess break down what you can afford. What does that mean?
Hey,
can you afford to take 10 years off your life? Then, yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
Look, everything's got a purpose. Everything's got a meaning. You choose to put meaning in whatever you choose. And if you're willing to give up some time for the things that you enjoy right now, who's to blame you?
Yeah.
Who's to blame you?
Well, that goes back to that Tony Robbins thing where he talks about, he's like, everything in life is based off of pain or pleasure. And then long-term or short-term results. That's it.
That's it.
Everything you do in life revolves around pain or pleasure, period.
And that's it.
And the short-term benefit and the long-term benefit of that pain or pleasure.
With that, being able to delay gratification has actually been known to cause more people to be a higher rate of successful people. Being able to understand what delayed gratification and how it works creates more successful people than anything else.
I love delayed gratification.
Right. Being able to take
it sometimes, though, go ahead.
Being able to take the experience that you're having right now and say, okay, I'm willing to give up this one thing for this thing potentially happen in the future, creates more people to be successful than anything else.
That makes sense to me.
That one thing, if you can control that and have some discipline and have some other things, which obviously delayed gratification is actually just self-discipline, I think.
Yeah.
Continue what you were saying.
I think sometimes I've seen where it's killed the joy in it for me. Like there's something I would delay gratification on, and then I would go too far with it.
Yeah.
And then it became the norm. And then when I got there, it was kind of,
not as good as
you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't make the carrot at the end of the stick big enough or something. Like, hey, okay, well, if it's going to, like, I think it should match. Like, hey, if it's going to be a really long gratification thing, you need to make the carrot bigger.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
I suck at that. And then it kind of just takes the joy away from it.
Yeah. Which makes it not as fun.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
So for example, what are some things you did some delayed gratification on that have turned out well for you?
Man, I mean, I'll tell you right now, it's still to this day. I mean, what I'm trying to do with this company and where we're trying to take it. I mean, there's a lot of times where, flat out, I wanted to take more for myself and I haven't. I mean, to this day. So, but there is another end to that. So, like we talked about, the money you make versus your net worth. And if you look at that, there's a substantial difference between what I make. A lot of people probably be surprised. Like if they came in and looked at the company and I said, hey, well, this is actually what I pay myself. They'd probably be like, really? That's it? But then you turn around and look what it's given us an opportunity to build, the opportunities it's created for others that we would have never been there if I'd have been fucking selfish. You know what I'm saying? And in that being selfish, I would have really, truly, even selfishly been hurting myself, if that makes any sense. So
the double-edged sword there, pal.
Yeah, for sure. I think that one might be triple-ended. So, yeah. But
that's my favorite kind of sword, by the
way. Yeah. So, I mean, things like that, or, like there's things I just want to do personally, I won't do because I say, hey, no, I want to see my savings account get to this. I mean, that's a couple of the simple ones, like things I want to get or what I want to buy, or, I'm like anybody else, man. I got wants and interests and stuff that I won't do, and if I feel like I'm still going too far, I don't say I punish myself, but I will restrict myself even further. Like, for example, dude, I get a $200 a month allowance. That's what I get to blow. I give myself a $200 a month allowance for that includes my lunches out. If I want to stop and get me a coffee, everything. That's it.
I've been doing
That's what I get. Well, I noticed I lived out of my checking account and I would eat up what I didn't. My goal was when I had money come into the checking account, I'd put it everywhere I could to get rid of it. I didn't want it to stay there. I tried to slim that son of a bitch down as tight as I could. And then I would say, well, if there's $1,000 sitting there or $2,000 sitting there, and then you just like, oh, I'll do whatever. Oh, let me go just order that Amazon thing, or, oh, I'm out here with my buddies. I'm going to freaking buy this or buy that, or, whatever. and I was doing that shit. And then it was like, well, spending $500 on a weekend, if there's $2,000 sitting there, who gives a shit? But, if there's $200 sitting there, you're going to go, shit, I can't do that.
You can be a little bit more frugal.
Yeah. Now, I mean, there's special times that come up that doesn't apply to, but I'm talking about selfishly. I want to go over here and buy me a new fucking fishing pole, right now or something. It's coming out of my play money account. And that son bitch only gets $200 a month.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. Or, hey, no, I was going to go eat over here and have me a freaking nice meal for lunch today. No, I'm not buying the $20 lunch. I'm going to get the, there's not a $5 lunch anymore, but I'm just going to give me a sub sandwich. I'm going to eat that for the rest of the week. You know what I mean? I do that shit for sure.
Absolutely. I definitely don't know what you mean. I'm now realizing a lot of things in my life at this very moment. That might be the way to go about things. And they're saying, like, no matter how much money you make, just live broke.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I think to each person their own, but I think, it goes back to, you can always evaluate and make things a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like, just evaluate. It's like saving. I've talked about this 100 times on this podcast. If you don't save dick because you say you have no money, you ain't going to save shit when you do have money. And how the hell are you going to get any more money if you don't save some?
Yeah.
So I remember when I would take, in every pay period, I would put $20 into my savings account. And then I remember when I put $50 a month in my retirement account. I did that shit for years. And then I'd reevaluate and rebudget, relook at, So, but I put myself on that spending budget because, frankly, dude, when COVID hit and I started getting in woodworking, bro, in 2 months, I'd probably spent $3,000 or $4,000 on like woodworking tools. And I look at myself, like, who the fuck, what are you doing? Like,
I don't see the problem.
That's not how I work. That's not how I do things, because I'm sitting there going, damn, I still got a truck payment. I just spent that kind of money on some fucking tools. What am I thinking? That's stupid. And now I'm spending money and over here paying an interest rate on something, and money's losing value daily right now. What am I thinking? Like, that's so stupid. So,
I got a question though. This is kind of where my head, this is where we differ. You spent $4,000. Okay. On some tools that you use on the weekends. How much enjoyment do you get out of woodwork?
A ton.
Then it don't fucking matter, dude.
You know what? You're right. You're right in the grand scheme of things. But also to that, it got into, when I realized it, I was realizing I was buying stuff I didn't even really need. I was more interested in making my shop cool than actually like learning more of a craft.
Okay.
And now I've cut that back and I say, okay, I don't get to do that. Like, I got to save this in my play money account if I want to save up to buy some of this stuff. And now I'm actually spending more time on the craft, and I'm getting better at it. And I'm getting more enjoyment now. Now, yeah, I needed some simple stuff to start out. But it's like, well, damn, I don't need to buy that. I need to buy this because it's freaking cooler. And that's what everybody likes. And it was like comparing myself. You know what I mean? Fucking stupid.
Yeah. So that can get out of hand quickly. You're right. But for me, dude, it comes down to value. It comes down to how much I'm going to enjoy what I'm doing. And for me, if it costs $3,000 for me to do a setup in the gym, I'm going to do it because I know for a fact that I'm going to enjoy it. $200 a month though, man. What do you eat for lunch?
I usually keep it pretty simple. So I'll go over to like a meat cheese. I'll get me a salad. I might do some sandwiches, like from like a Jimmy John's sandwich and stuff. I 100% try not to eat fast food. Like I don't eat fast food. Not for lunches now, you know, I mean, I'm not saying I don't ever eat fast food, but like I'm not eating fast food every day for lunch. So
Do you
I might
bring
go to
your
your pie and get me a pizza, maybe, you know, something like that. But
$200 lasts you a month on food and stuff? How often do you eat out like during the day? Like what is your normal week, like your food during the week?
I
Do you
might
bring
get a
your
cup of
lunch?
coffee. Huh?
Do you bring your lunch?
Well, yeah, I think that include dinner. I'm not talking
No,
about
I'm
any
saying,
dinner.
I'm saying like your lunch at work. Do you bring your lunch?
Sometimes, yeah, depends. If there's some leftovers. Yeah, I don't mind because that means I don't have to leave my desk.
Yeah.
But I might some days I get a cup of coffee. Some days most days I don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I bring a cup from home and then I bring a pod with me because we got a Keurig in the back. So I'll do that, and then I eat lunch out. But it depends. Now, if I'm having like a business meeting, then the company's buying lunch. You know, so there's times that happens, but that's not a lot. I mean, heavy might be once a week on that. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. About as simple as I'll get is I might have some chicken tenders from Zaxby's, which sounds pretty good.
Here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
$10 a meal. Ballpark. It's $50
Mm-hmm.
a week.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say 40 because you may have a business lunch.
Yeah.
160 for the month.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, it works.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to try that. I'm interested.
I'm not saying you got to do it like me. I'm just saying
I'll probably definitely give myself a little bit more of an allowance of that because I splurge a little bit more than you. But the fact okay, let's make this very clear. I need to be a little bit more like that.
So, dude, I don't know. I'm big on track and it keeps me in line.
Yeah.
I'm very much one track minded in something. If I want something, I'm going to like it will consume me. So I have to do certain things. I got set certain parameters. You know what I mean? Like, hey, if you put a drink to your lips and you're going to be like in the ditch by the end of the week, then you probably should stay the fuck away from bars and liquor stores. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, there's things that keep me in line because I'm quick to justify when I want something. And I'm real about that. So I know that. And I try to, guard up. Look, if my pay doubled tomorrow, if I said, okay, it's time, I'm doubling my pay tomorrow. Yeah, I would step my budget up per month. And I wouldn't be nearly as frugal, but I'd still have a budget. You know, I don't care what kind of money you make. You should have a monthly budget and have a play, especially if you're not going to track it. That's the beauty too. I don't track what's going on in that account. Everything else, I track every transaction, every credit card transaction, every bank account transaction. It's all worked out. I'll pull a P&L on it. I'll look it over. It's what gets my nuts off, man. I like to know what's going on. I like to know how we trend. So, but with that account, I don't track shit. And also if I'm out doing something, like let's say I'm traveling, I might put some extra in there. Okay. And then I can use that and not worried. Like, hey, if somebody stole that card or something, like, okay,
yeah,
big whoop-de-doo. It isn't all my main stuff where I got all my main transactions going. It doesn't screw me up. So I don't know, just my viewpoint, but I will tell you, I wish I'd have done it. I think I did it 2 years ago. I wish I'd have done it since I'd been on my own.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And I don't move over money until I actually need to move over money. You know what I mean? And so like my thing is like, hey, if I know majority of the time that I'm eating lunch, it's a business situation. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm either with somebody going out, we're doing, something with real estate. So my thing is that, or it's like a team event.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess my whole thought process there is like, I try to make sure that everything's working out, but I do not move over money until it's like, hey, look, I've justified this in my head. This makes the most sense. I'm going to do this. I'm moving the money over. I'm doing it.
Yeah. But see, some people may hear me saying this and like, number one, that's ridiculous. And you're looking at the wrong side of it. But truth be told, I don't have to think about it. It's just there. If I blow every penny of it, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck. And I don't have to track it. So I can actually focus on the things that matter. I do not go and I might check my accounts once a week. I never go, am I good over here? Am I good over there? I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I can actually spend my time focusing on other stuff that's productive for me and makes me more money or makes my company do better, those kind of things. I don't have to constantly touch that shit daily or wondering what's going on or trying to remember. I don't have to do that.
And that was such a huge change in my life, and I think is yours as well, was using that profits first technique.
Yeah.
You know, being able to say, hey, look, I'm making this amount of money. It's going into each different account. This is that's what's there. That's what's, you know, this is how it's going to be sorted out. And I don't have to look at my account, but once a month or every 2 weeks and just say, hey, look, I know where my money's at. I know how to function this. And all I got to do is money comes in, I break it up into 6 different categories. Everything's covered.
Yeah.
But I will say that's a different technique. That's the next level.
Yeah. Like I said, really, truthfully, it gives me freedom. Like I don't have to spend time on it, but a nice benefit. And it's weird, man. I can actually feel really good about a $20 purchase. You know what I'm saying? That may seem crazy, but I might feel really good. I'm like, oh man, I stashed away a little bit. I'm gonna go buy this. I don't know, dude. It works for me. I like it. But I haven't thought about raising that budget, and that could be a nice goal for me. Just a small little win. Man, I think you can get a lot of pleasure out of stuff that doesn't have to be big and massive. That'd be a fun little thing for me to do and say, hey, I want to make that $300 a month.
Yeah.
All right. What do I got to do to make it $300 a month?
Hell yeah.
So,
well, James, I think we have just laid it all out, pal.
Yeah. The pointless podcast today.
Yeah. Is it though? Because we talked about a lot about plastic and how you should not use it, right? There's probably a lot of people that don't actually realize that.
Hey, next week, I like that. Next week, we'll discuss my full review of a bidet. I purchased a bidet. I'm going to install it this weekend. We're going to see what it's all about.
Dude, it is the most glorious. Back in the day, I sold a house to some clients, and they used to pay me to house sit because they had horses and dogs and whatnot. And so, dude, they paid glorious. Very, very nice folks. And so they would pay me, and I'd have to stay at the house, okay? And every day, he did mention this to me. He's like, hey, you're welcome to use the master bathroom. It does have a bidet. I don't know if you know what that is, but it is amazing. And I said, obviously, I'm like, I don't even know, 20, 21, 22. Yeah. And at the time, I'm like, I don't know. I'll give it a shot. Dude, I fell in love with a bidet. Dude, everything's so much simpler. It feels awesome and absolutely just glorious.
Dude, I'm tired of taking shits and feeling gross.
Yeah, you won't anymore. Does it have a hot and cold feature?
I'm very excited about it. I can see me already probably installing one here at the office.
Yeah.
So
does it have a hot and cold feature?
It does not. No, man, we're running this sucker. Hey man, give you a little wake up.
Yeah, no, I get it. Hey, give us a review next week, and then maybe we'll support the company you purchased it from.
All right, sounds good. All right.
Hey, I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you,
and I also appreciate all the listeners that we have. We have reached worldwide at this point, and it is absolutely amazing, guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of James' heart, and we definitely appreciate you guys. Do not forget to check out Jocko Fuel, our sponsor, as well as Origin USA. Go get you some USA made goods. Absolutely amazing stuff. And as usual, don't forget to put in code GRIND 1-0 at checkout. James, what you got for us?
Grinder out.